G'day mate and welcome back to the Friday Facts. We're on 270 this time, HR Substation Save and Load overview, and I've got Mojo here with me again. G'day mate.
Hello.
So first off we've got by Clonin the Steam Awards. Steam has opened up the nominations this year for this year's Steam Awards. Last year Factorio was actually selected as a nominee for Haunts My Dreams Award, which there was another one.
Very appropriate.
Well, it was. But there was another one, and I'm pretty sure it was just 5 more minutes.
Something like that.
Yeah, Factorio in my book really wins the just 5 more minutes, Mum.
It is the epitome of just 5 more minutes.
Yeah. You know, none of us have ever stayed up all night accidentally playing Factorio. But yeah, there is a category this year for Best Developer, and many of the community have wanted to nominate us for that category. Unfortunately, to be eligible, we would have to have a developer page set up on Steam. Now, I saw the Steam Awards like 2 days ago now, and the first thing I did is try to nominate Woo, because as a developer, between the Friday Facts, the forums, Reddit, they are a good dev. They're at least open and communicative. No, I can't words at this time. It's late again for both of us.
Yes.
But yeah.
Communicative?
Yeah, they communicate well. They communicate well,
yes.
Yeah. But we had some discussions. We decided to wait until we have a final Woob software logo and a theme finalized before setting up a developer page.
That entire sentence there is a remarkable thing. It sounds like they're turning into a professional software.
What's worse is, like, you could be eligible for an award if enough of your player base could nominate you. And the thing that's holding us back is, we don't have a logo.
We haven't done any of the business side of any of the business development.
Just make a just a one-off, like a W inside a factory gear, and call it done. And it could be like, you know, Woob Software Inc. Graphic 0.0001. Done. Yeah, I tried to nominate them. Turns out, yeah, they don't have a developer page, so you can't.
Yeah, if anyone's been around me for at least the past few months, I think, you'll be knowing that I've been saying that they're well overdue for maturing into a professional company. The whole startup thing, like when they first started back in 2013, just doesn't fly anymore.
Yeah,
the whole "we'll do it when we do it" thing mantra. I mean, that works when you're early on, but it doesn't work now.
I think at the point where they moved offices to like the last move to we're going professional now. We've got a proper office. We've got more than 5 employees. That's the sort of point where you're like, okay, maybe some of this stuff we should get to. All right? And there's more of it down the bottom. There's more stuff they should have got to a long time ago down the bottom.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you're going to have to go nominate Factorio for something else. Go check Reddit and their forums if you want suggestions. I already nominated Factorio for 1. I tried to nominate for 2, but turns out Steam only lets you nominate 1 game per different category, which is stupid.
Who knew?
Yeah, we've got a HR Substation. Finally.
Hooray. I actually had a bit of a discussion beforehand about this, because I was pretty sure that it's one of the oldest graphics behind Warp, which was also updated for 17.
Yes. And we looked up the wiki, and it was added in version 4, and the graphic
added in version 4, and
hasn't
never changed.
Yep. So yeah, they just couldn't render it in double resolution. Obviously, back then they did the best resolution they could, and that's what it went out as. And we've got our new pretty HR Substations.
And you can also see there's now blue belts in the new style too.
Yes.
That split is different too. That split is different too.
It's just high res.
No, that split looks different.
Compared to the one from last week, I think it's just high res. I've got the old Substations on screen, and they're like, they're well and truly past due for a bit of an update. But yeah, so new Substations with a green, a yellow, and a red wire. I'm guessing it's. I don't know.
You got the yellow wire for power, of course. Yeah, go to the previous FFF. I'm pretty sure that split is different. It is, yeah.
Copy. It's not. It's not. It's not.
No, something's changed. It's lighter.
The
The big gears are
yellow
lighter.
one above the top gear has a dark circle on the inside of that nut thing. And the blue one doesn't.
Seems different.
I will say that it's almost like the yellow one in that particular Friday Fact was pushed out at a slightly higher resolution, a bit more polished.
Yeah, it's obviously a render.
Yeah.
We'll work that out.
So, new substations, finally.
Yes. Brace substation.
Deterministic save and load in Factorio, and this one's by R-Seeding. One of the key parts of the save load process in Factorio is it must be deterministic. This means for a given save file when no external factors change, saving, exiting, and loading the save shouldn't change any observable behavior. What
was that about saves?
What?
What was that about saving and loading?
Saving and loading shouldn't change any observable behavior. Thanks, Mojo. Thanks, Mojo. Oh, there are a few reasons the benefits should be and benefits for this strict requirement, and it's simple. Like if you save the game, you load the game. Everything that was happening when you saved should re-happen when you load.
Yes,
pretty much.
100%. Ideally, 100% of the time, not 85% of the time.
And I've got this last line here highlighted. With it, you won't see things randomly change as a result of reloading like you do in so many other games. Oh boy, can I agree with that one line.
How's that, what was that? The one where your oxygen not included base just randomly melts.
Oh yeah, I had. It works fine until you load it suddenly and then... No! It would suddenly explode, and the only way to fix it was load multiple times until the explosion finally just disappeared.
Yeah, until you finally got a different result.
Yeah, it was not only that, Oxygen Not Included still has the same problem where things don't work after load, or you have to save and then reload that save to get things to work again.
Yes.
But then something else might break, yeah. The premise sounds simple enough. Make running game to save, to exit, to load, to running game procedure the same result every time when nothing else changes. However, in practice, this ends up being quite complex. Factorio uses serialization and deserialization, and there's a more link where you can go read up on it, and yeah, no pass. The exact format of the serialization file changes from map version to map version, so we have to keep that in mind when loading. Now, as they add more stuff, I could see that changing. Like, obviously, if artillery didn't exist in 14.
Yes.
So there are adding things, and I can see why that would change. As a side note, we took some measurements of what parts of the map data take up what amount of space in a typical uncompressed save game. So decoratives being ferns and leaves and crap on the ground that I have to admit a lot of people actually turn off so they don't see them, takes up 30% of your save. That's the only important thing from that whole pie chart.
Actually, I thought tiles was... Because that reinforces the fact that painting concrete's actually a bad thing because it blows out the save file. Because that's where concrete goes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Then the other one is Blueprint Library. Blueprint Library is a terrible one. Terribly ineffective.
Look, decoratives is still the really, really big one. And they also use RAM.
Yes.
And like, our Race to the Edge map, we just deleted all the decoratives physically off the map with console commands, and it made massive differences to the file size and the RAM usage.
Do you know that's interesting because this is actually a massive improvement over version 13's. I think it was decoratives when the algorithm was to place down more decoratives, because that ballooned out save files when they did that. Crazy amounts. I think it was fixed in 14 or 15.
Luckily enough, I missed most of that. And then again, I turn off decoratives. And I also...
Really?
A lot of the time I do. And what was that mod? More UPS or UPS
UPS
ups? Yeah. Again, that just deleted them. They didn't exist. All right. On new chunk generation, delete that crap. Done. Problem solved. Again, I think that was 14, 15. I was running those sorts of mods to...
Yeah, 14 was the one to run that on.
Yeah.
13 and 14.
So yeah, saving the game is fairly straightforward. Save the map, save the ID mapping. Right, save the map data. Loading, however, becomes complicated during the variety of things we need to account for. Map version migrations, mod additions, removals, changes, potentially invalid corrupted save files. And there's a blurb that you guys can read on the screen. But here it is. Our overall entire process has grown quite complex to the point where it's difficult for us to remember all the special rules. With that in mind, I spent a day earlier this week documenting the entire process for easier reference as to the order of things and why we do what we do. So, straight away, if you have special rules, one special rule is allowed. That's a post-it note on the corner of the whiteboard. 2 post-it notes, one on top of one another, 2 special rules, is also allowed, but that's when you take them off the post-it notes and write them in the corner of the whiteboard. Any more than that, you start documenting things, Woob. Yes, sir?
Yeah, generally. It's not how things normally go.
I realise it's not how things normally go, but it comes back to, somebody being in charge and going, no, we need to write that down now. We need to have a... This is all the special rules for all the different migrations from version to version to version.
Startup culture.
Yeah. On a side note, in version 17, you'll only be able to load a 15 or a 16 save. If it's 13 or 14, you'll have to load them into 15 or 16 to then load them into 17. And we're not going to talk about 12.
Well, 12's already cut off anyway, as of 16. The minimum is 13.
I thought 12 you had to load into 13. 13 you could go...
Yeah, so 12 you had to load into at least 13. You could use 14 as well. But what's interesting is that they've... so the backwards compatibility was always in the past 3 prior versions. It's now 2. That's what this is saying.
Two's plenty. Look, honestly, 2's plenty. Because their release cycle is so fast and so, boom, boom, boom between major releases, 2's plenty.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's already, 3 years? That takes you back to the beginning of 2017.
Yeah, roughly.
Because this is going to come out in 2019. So that's 2 years.
Yeah, so I'm not sure when 15 came out, but yeah, it would be...
April 2017.
April. So, yeah, it's a good amount of time. Yeah. T-shirts for Christmas. If you want a T-shirt, now's the time to buy it. If you want a Factorio T-shirt, that is. It's approaching the festive season once again, and such as a nearly whole year of selling official Factorio T-shirts. Since moving to the new office, the merchandise operation has been given a whole double room to handle all the storage and shipping of T-shirts. That's pretty much it for the Friday Facts. I don't want a T-shirt, I want a poster.
I already got a T-shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't bought a T-shirt yet.
I've never actually worn it yet.
Oh, okay. Got to keep that in mint condition.
Yes.
You're not going to...
It has been washed, though.
Yeah, hang on. It's a Factorio T-shirt. You're not going to buy it, wear it, out to a machinery, and get it covered in, light sooty dust and really rough it up.
Grease and cutting fluids and carbon fiber dust and that sort of...
Maybe not cutting fluids, and grease. Let's just stick to the dusty environment. So it's got that authentic Factorio feel.
Having been in dusty workshop environments, the greases and cutting fluids are way harder to wash out. Yeah,
dust washes out mostly.
It's the breathing that's the hard part.
Oh yeah. Don't breathe the dust. This is why they give you masks for a reason. So, anything else to add to this week's Friday Facts?
Why don't they outsource the T-shirt thing? Why don't they do it themselves? There are companies that do this sort of thing. That do merch.
I think it comes back to a startup.
Startup culture.
Startup, not sure how many orders we're going to get. Let's do it in-house. That way, if we buy in 1,000 shirts and we only sell 500, oops. And then when you end up selling all 1,000 and get demand for more, you don't change the process. You just keep buying another 1,000 and shipping in another 1,000. I got to admit, yeah, with the massive demand they had to start with, and now it's been a year, and now you're paying for rent for a room that has, I don't know how many boxes stacked up.
Yeah, you're paying for a room just to warehouse this stuff. You're also pulling, because who did it last time? It was like Twinson, those guys. So you're pulling development time away from.
You are. You're paying a developer to pack a box. And yeah, you're right. Maybe it is time to watch our Friday Facts and, more importantly, outsource this.
I just thought it was odd because, like, normally if you wanted merchandise, like if you wanted your JD Plays printed on a T-shirt, there's a company that, and they'll print it per order.
Yeah, I know. I do know those sorts of companies that the quality is not super high. Maybe theirs is much better quality. I don't know. You've got the shirt. Is it super high quality and awesome?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
better than average. Better than Big W, or maybe Kmart, if anything. No,
Big W, Kmart, our version of Walmart. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe when they get rid of this stock, maybe it is time to outsource it. You know, that's probably all I've got to say about it. All right. So nothing else for this week?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Short one for a change. And we'll see you next week. All right. Bye.